Welcome back, friends. It's another day and another realization. And today's realization has already been helping me so much throughout the day, and I'm super excited to share it with you. So, what this was the realization that our higher self sees everything as perfect as it is right now. And this was born from thinking and knowing that we're always experiencing the best case scenario for us, even if our ego would say otherwise and doesn't see it like that. But the truth is, from a higher perspective, from a spiritual growth perspective, we are always experiencing the best case scenario for us. And so this is where I feel this arose from, that our higher self sees everything as perfect as it is right now. And this has helped me tremendously through the day. And so one of the examples is when old programs started to try to come up, old patterns that I've already dealt with. I just remembered everything is perfect as it is. And what it allowed me to do was come back to clarity so fast, and to be able to focus on my center, to be able to do whatever was best in that moment. Maybe it was to feel gratitude, maybe it was to feel love, maybe it was to focus on something else. Yet, whenever I did this, the old patterns just dropped away. And of course, I've been aware of these old programs and patterns, and I have gone deep into them, and I have let go of the resistance and let go of the energy. And it's just like these echoes that come up. And this is a little tip. Well, it's actually a huge tip. It's a huge, amazing, powerful tool to help bring us back into our state of alignment by seeing the reality through the eyes of our higher self, knowing that everything actually is perfect as it is for our growth and everyone else's growth involved. And for everything that happens on this planet, it all has a purpose. And it's all a co-creation. And it's all a choice consented to by all beings involved to participate in it. And so, knowing this, the guilt, it vanishes. And we see, oh wow, this is all helping me. And when we see it as all helping us, well, that's another way of saying, wow, it's all perfect as it is. And this also helped me to not get caught up in like little things that I used to get caught up in. It's just like anytime any little bit of tension or constriction or tightness, I want to say resistance, yet I feel like I've dealt with the resistance, but if it still comes up. So I had this thought, my higher self sees us all as perfect as it is. And so it's up to me to bring my human self into alignment with that, so I can be, well, in alignment with my higher self, and also in coherence with what I am emitting into the field of how I am creating my reality. And so, because I want to be in line with my higher self, my true self. And so this has helped me so much today, and it's just been such a breath of fresh air. And there was another example that came up to share. I was in a situation where I found myself waiting for a lot longer than normal. And this was at the grocery store, and I was in one line and it seemed to be taking a long time, so I went to another line, and it turns out that line was even longer. And then I went to back to this other line, and then it slowed down, and so it was quite comedic, to be honest. But I was like, no, it's perfect as it is, because maybe that whole situation is teaching me some patience. Maybe it's because it's good for my energy to be in that location around those people for a bit longer. Maybe me being in there, another being and I do some light code exchange or something on an energetic level that my human self isn't even aware of. Maybe I missed something that would not be good. If I got out of there right away, maybe something would have happened. Maybe by staying in the store for longer, just life got smoother. Whatever it is, we can see that in everything that we do, it's all perfect as it is. No matter what our human self may have thought to believe in the past. And so this, I'm realizing right now, can also be used to identify beliefs and programming. Because it's like, what's the big rush? And so it's kind of being able to see things through this new perspective, and it just makes life, wow, so much more relaxed. Oh yeah, and another example was I heard someone honking their horn, and in the past that aggravated me, and I heard it, and then I said, oh, that's perfect as it is. And and for some reason I was like thinking of the tone of the horn and how nice it sounded. I was like, where is this coming from? Because I have never had this thought in my life. Yet, when we see things as perfect as they are, that sends a signal. Basically, that feels good when things are perfect as they are. And when we feel good, then we start another loop of thinking thoughts that feel good. So I can see that today may have been the first time I've ever had such a good feeling thought about someone honking on the horn. And I'm realizing right now one of the reasons I didn't like hearing the horn is because I felt it was, when someone hits it, it's the story I had in my head was it's done out of fear. It's done out of like rushing, like hurry up or get out of my way, or you're doing something wrong, or etc., etc. But when we let go of these stories and we just see everything as perfect as it is, wow, that really takes a load off. It is really relaxing, because the other thing I noticed was that every time any of these old beliefs or programs or being bothered or any little bits of resistance come up, all that is fear, and it all drains our energy. Every form of fear is draining energy, subtly draining it. It's a loss for our system. And so with this tool of saying everything is perfect as it is, that I noticed I had so much more energy, and it was because I didn't let these little things get to me. I saw it all as perfect as it was. And I was also able to love and appreciate all the humans around. It felt like on a whole other level as well. Because instead of these old patterns of looking for what's wrong or looking for threats or anything like that. And you just think everything is perfect as it is. And then because we say that, then now we have clarity, then we remember, oh yeah, everyone is actually helping us. Everyone is actually source. Everyone is light. Everyone has wisdom and information. And we're all assisting each other. And we start remembering all of these truths and just have a much better time and are not just letting ourselves drain out our energy with these fearful thoughts that lead to the tension, the constriction. Anytime we're feeling that tension, constriction, that fearful emotion, resistance, that's that energy loss. And so when we see everything is perfect as it is, and go for it. And yeah, of course, sometimes we may feel a little apprehensive before doing something. And some may even call that fear, kind of like feel the fear and do it anyway kind of thing. But I feel like when we do this work and we see the multidimensional reality as it is, and we come back to these knowings and these truths, and we see everything is perfect as it is, then it makes it possible to feel that those butterflies, feel that bit of nervous energy, feel that bit of fear, and then just do whatever we wanted to do. Because we actually have trust, we have the faith, we have the higher perspectives, and so we can actually do that very successfully. And so this is yet again another tool to assist us with doing what we want in the world, doing what we love to do, doing what we're excited to do. Even if someone leaves a bad review on the thing we want to go do, or even if in the past we once had this time where we ran into this one person and it was a challenging situation, and ever since then we get a bit tense before doing it, well, we can trust everything is perfect as it is, and then boom, now we can go and do it. Now we feel that boost and we do it, and then we realize, wow, it was so peaceful, it was so amazing. And that also shows us our growth, when the reality is mirroring back to us how we are feeling inside. And it's a very beautiful thing. So yeah, that's what was on my heart to share with you today. This new way of seeing the reality, and our higher selves actually do see everything as perfect as it is. Like, even if our human self, our ego self is like, oh, I don't have any money, I'm going into debt, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Our higher self sees that as perfect as it is, because it's the opportunity our human self has to rise above that, to maybe let go of any blocks, maybe understand why the money may not be coming in, or maybe it inspires courage to go do something to bring this money in, or so many things. And that's just one example of, it feels like there's infinite examples where our human self would say, oh, that's not perfect. Yet our higher self would say, oh, that's perfect. Because it's perfect because our human has the spiritual growth. And through the spiritual growth, we become more of our true selves. Even things with our body, if we have some sort of issue with our body, our human self is like, this is happening. And our higher self sees it as perfect as it is, because it's going through that. Who knows what we'll learn? Who knows who we'll meet? And how the whole thing will play out. Of course, all of this becomes a lot more, well, I was going to say enjoyable, but because when we reach a certain point, challenges are enjoyable, but I guess we could also say bearable if we're not there yet. But after awakening, and after we start seeing these challenges in our lives and things in our lives as benefiting us, it becomes easier and easier to see the perfection in the reality of what we're attracting, the situations we're in, and how when we shift our internal world, and that may be a feeling, that may be a thought, that may be a belief that is feeding thoughts, and how that changes things outside of us. And I mentioned coherence earlier in this video, and it's like so often we have this idea, for example, with the money example, someone says, I don't want to be in debt, I want to have the money, but they're feeling lack because they don't have the amount of resources that they would like. So that's not in coherence. So it's coming back to, if we see the situation as perfect as it is, well, that's definitely not lack, because lack is, well, it's a form of fear, and so it's restrictive, it's very limiting, tense. And so when we see it as perfect as it is, no matter what it is, we start to see the opportunities, because we feel good and we have that clarity. And we see, I can do this or do that, or do this or do that, or call that person or do this. And then next thing you know, everything is changing. And so it's just a little food for thought to assist you all who have come to this video with seeing the reality through the eyes of your higher self. A lot of people talk about this, but I am really excited to bring like a really practical way here, that, seeing everything as perfect as it is. And when we do that, we will see these opportunities for growth. We will take the benefits, and we will go through a lot less tension, resistance, constriction in the process. And yeah, that is very welcomed to this human being, that's for sure, because yeah, it is a journey, all right. And yeah, planet Earth, hey. But we're here, and it's time to make the most of it and really love our lives here on planet Earth. And one of the ways we can do that is seeing everything as perfect as it is right now, and knowing that everything is always changing. And so just the current circumstances right here, right now, is perfect as it is. And when we see it like that, we will be centered, we'll be feeling good, we'll have clarity, and we will be open to receive guidance, reminders, information, downloads, and move forward in the most coherent and aligned way possible. And yeah, and you can try it as a little experiment and just feel how much more energy you feel you have when you do this, because that was something profound to me. I had more energy, more clarity. It was just so much easier to see through the eyes of my higher self. It was, all the reminders were just right there, instead of me getting flustered and then having to do something more to get there. And yeah, so yeah, this is just another helpful tool to come back into alignment with your true self and to see the reality, how our true self sees it, how our higher self sees it. And when we do that, we not only have this energy, but we also have so much peace. And we also have joy and all of these emotions of love. And if it's perfect as it is, it's easy to have gratitude as well. And all of this is in alignment, so all of it's allowing. And so you can see how this, just one simple perspective shift, just one line to remember, can cause all of that goodness for us. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And like I said earlier, it really helped me not start creating stories, move out of these old programs or patterns before they even began. Just at the slightest whiff of them, I was able to shift. And so, and the less we entertain those old patterns and programs, the more they naturally release. It's just all a part of the letting go, releasing process. You've done all the hard work with replacing it with our higher self perspective, feeling out the energy, and shifting all that stuff. That's all the hard work. And then this next part is where our dedication, perseverance, persistence comes in, of consistently reinforcing our higher truth whenever this old stuff tries to make a comeback. And so the more we can shut it down or shift away from it, and the more we can focus on our higher truth, well, the less I was going to say a hold it will have on us. It never had a hold on us to begin with, yet it feels like it does. But its grip will loosen and loosen, and it will just dissolve, and our new perspectives will become our default. Yet it is up to us to be reinforcing them, reminding ourselves of these truths, practicing these tools that we're learning and that just come to us. So we all are on a unique journey, and we're all receiving information that works for us, that helps us. And this has helped me so much, and it's worked for me. And so I share this, and I trust that all who are going to be attracted to it, it will also be helpful for you. And yeah, and so that's what today's realization and what I experienced, I can report to you about. And yeah, what a day. And it's a reminder also to celebrate our progress. Like, looking back, I am amazed at how far I've come in in a relatively short time. It takes much less time to let go of these programs and stuff than it did to pile them up and convince ourselves that they were real and all that kind of stuff. So it's a process, but very, very well worth it. And to me, I see no other way than continuing until I have released every last belief program that is not truly me, so that I can walk through this world through my higher self perspective. And wow, like when I walk through the world today, I literally felt untouchable, invincible with this tool, this seeing everything as perfect as it is. Felt completely invincible. The only way anything can mess with us is if it can make us feel fear. Yet if we see everything as perfect as it is, it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. And also, because we're not losing energy here and there, we have more of our energy. We feel, and we can think of our energy as our power, and we are in our power, and we're not just giving it away willy-nilly, letting it go, letting it drain out. And so yeah, give it a try, see what you think, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Sending you much love and blessings on your path today. Take care.